Hello Daily Drafters and welcome back to the channel for today's Arena Gauntlet League match. As you can see in the title of this video, this is match number 11 in this series, which means if you haven't watched match 1 through 10, what are you doing? Head down to the description. There is a week 0 introduction as to what the Arena Gauntlet League is and the mechanics of the league, as well as the last 10 videos uploaded on the channel are all of our first 10 matches in this league if you want to catch up with where we are right now. We are entering week 3 of play, and we have planeswalked to the Throne of Eldraine, or the Plane of Eldraine, where all comeback packs are from Throne of Eldraine, and you get to add either a rare or some commons to your pool, depending on when you lose as well. You know what? I'm hoping we don't have to deal with that. We get another back-to-back 5-0 weeks. Might be asking a lot, but you never know. We went 5-0 last week. What's to say we can't do it this week too, right? So this is the deck you see on your screen right now that we are starting this week with. It is a black-red aggro sacrifice deck. The Blood Witches have done some great work. Hungry Ghoul, Involuntary Employment, Eaten Alive is kind of a steal and sack package. Shivan Dragon has won some games. Got a little bit of removal, double stab, double blast. It's not great. Double Goblin has really helped. You know, it's really just overperformed my expectations so far, and I really hope that it continues to do so here today in match number 11. Now, as we get into this third week of play, here is where we currently stand in the leaderboard. Reminder, there are 121 members in this league, and at the beginning of the third week of play, we are currently in 47th place, which is a little bit higher than halfway, but many people have passed us up by finishing their week 3 matches before I have had a chance to play my first. So, 46 through 42 and higher than that are all 8 and 7. So as long as we don't go 1 and 4, we'll hopefully jump into the 30s or higher. Knock on wood. Last week was a great week with a 5 and 0. We're going to look to continue that streak so far this week, beginning today with match number 11. This 11th match will be played against HPWizard, who's another member of this league who currently has a record of 6 and 5 and is in rank 66, playing a Teamer deck today. And there are a couple reasons why they might want to be playing Teamer, looking at their pool before playing here. And, spoiler alert or not, you might get to see some of those cards in our match here today. They have 3 more comeback packs, or 2 more comeback packs than we do so far, with 5 losses compared to our 3. So that will make it a little bit of an uphill battle, also facing one of our first opponents that has gone into our match with a winning record on the league. So, gonna have an uphill battle like I mentioned, but best we can do is give it our best shot. Enjoy today's match. Alright, we get to go first here in this matchup, and the hand seems fine. Got some removal, some early creatures. Gonna hope it can carry us to victory. Looks like HPWizard must have taken a mulligan here. I think we just go Siphoner on 2 and Blood Witch on 3? I was kind of hoping that Llanowar Elves would get played so that I can just snap off the stab here. I think Siphoner down is probably better than the Ghoul or something. There's a better chance this has attacks. Now I do think I'll play the Ghoul. We'll see if there's some sort of removal spell here. Are there any Burst Lightnings in this pool? There is a Burst Lightning. Let's see if they decide to fire it off on the Ghoul here. And he does. Can't do anything. I guess an option here is to sacrifice the Siphoner to keep a Ghoul. Would I rather a Siphoner or a Ghoul around? I would probably rather the Ghoul. And with 1 green, there's nothing that can mess with this here that I'm seeing. There's a Giant Growth, but that doesn't do anything. So let's go ahead and just keep the Ghoul around at the expense of the Siphoner. Scrawling Crawler. Yeah, I think that's something I've got to Burst Lightning, and if I'm going to Burst Lightning it, I may as well do it before I draw a card here. I think I'll play the Blood. That could be wrong. It was most mana efficient to do the Blood Witch, but the Diregraph Ghoul comes in tapped. Not that that really matters, not that I'm really planning on blocking with it necessarily. Dwynen's Elite is a 2/2. Okay. Guess we'll go ahead and play the Diregraph Ghoul, go to combat, and attack here. Don't expect a block. No plays in a Goblin Borders. Okay, let's see here. I think I'll go ahead and do this. Willing to offer that trade. Let's see if Giant Growth is the play. Fiery Annihilation. It's kind of brutal. I mean, I can't save it, so yeah. Removal is pretty good against me, obviously. I don't have a lot of great creatures, but pushing through as much as I can. I would like to have them below 10 at this point, but not quite there. So I guess we just hope they get mana screwed. I mean, it's not a great thing to hope from your opponent, but I mean, I'm just going to go ahead and end the turn and protect against, I don't even know what, some sort of discard. I doubt there is any, but you never know. Okay, let's get on in. And just play the kitty, I suppose. And unfortunately, looks like the mana situation didn't quite get underneath HPWizard for this game, but we'll see. I might be able to Incinerating Blast my own creature for the win here, if they've got removal, but they do not have removal. Okay, so a little bit of a stumble, but we all deal with that from occasion to occasion. So playing Teamer, I'm looking at their pool of cards right now, and I see, what do I see that would potentially incentivize them to do that? Drakiseth is in the pool. Double Ashroot Animist is in the pool. That's definitely in there. Double Scrawling Crawler. Double Dragon Trainer. Overrun. Double Dwynen. Yeah, there's a lot of really good cards that I'm going to struggle against. The question is, the only really sideboarding option that I have available to me at this point is Pilfer. I mean, there's a couple of cheaper things over here too. I never see a reason to bring any of this in. So I usually want to bring in Pilfer if they've got like very expensive bombs. And being in Teamer, they do have a Coma as well. So maybe they're really stretching the mana to play Coma, which would be great to get out with the Pilfer. Same thing with Ashroot Animist, but Pilfer would need to be in your opening hand for that. I think we'll make him show one of the busted big mana cards before I decide to bring in the Pilfer, but if I see like Coma or Drakiseth this game, I'm probably going to bring it in for game 3. So we'll see here. Opponent goes first. We've got Stab, Firebrand, and an unanswered Krenko is always a great thing, but I will give you a hint. In the entire history of this 10-match league so far, Krenko has never gone unanswered. So get in with Firebrand here. Goblin is a decent draw. We're also going to need some land, obviously. Let's see if we still have attacks. Looks like we do. Is there an Essence Capture or Essence Scatter in the pool? There is not an Essence Scatter. So I think I'm free to play Seer Slicer Goblin, which is also the first time I've ever said that card's name correctly. It's just such a tongue twister. Okay. The full Teamer. And down goes Goblin. Yeah, Scorching Dragonfire. Where did that come from? Throne of Eldraine, probably? Yeah? Alright, missed land drops. You hate to see it. Yeah, I guess we'll go here. You know, they stumbled on mana game 1. We did it game 2, so we're even. No plays. And there's a land. But it doesn't really help me double spell here. So what could possibly be done at flash speed here? I mean, if it's like the wolf, the 4/2 wolf, which there aren't any in the pool, then I could just stab it. I don't know what could be done at flash speed to really punish an all-out attack here. So I'm going to attack before playing the Blood Witch. so that stab could potentially help me against some sort of flash creature. Fanatical Firebrand on the... Burst Lightning on the Fanatical Firebrand. Okay, sure. Alright, out comes the Blood Witch now. And Blood Witch plus 9 Lives Familiar is a nice little combo because this just constantly pecks in for 1 minimum every single turn. I do need another swamp for that though. HPWizard has represented a lot of removal so far. And there's just a big creature that's annoying that I think I have to eat alive. So let's... Evolving Wilds... Sack a creature to target this. And then get in there. And they've used a lot of removal already. Maybe I play Krenko next turn and it somehow survives. Is that too much to ask? Alright, so we go get a swamp here. Not great. Oh man, I would love to stab this, but I need to play Krenko. I need to try to get Krenko going as quickly as I can. So let's attack, drain for 1. Sure, and then hope no removal here. Usually a good sign if they don't immediately fire off the removal that they probably don't have it. I'm really hoping Drakuseth isn't the play because Drakuseth costs 3 red though. They don't have 3 red. Okay. Krenko survived. I would like to stab here, but I'm willing to wait 1 extra turn, attack with just the Siphoner, and play 9 Lives Familiar. I don't know what they could have. If it was removal, they probably would have already used it. And I don't feel like... Oh, they do have High Fae Trickster in the pool. But if that's the play, then I just stab the High Fae Trickster, right? If they just flash High Fae Trickster in. So let's attack here. Sure. And I think we just 9 Lives Familiar now. Then end the turn. Vengeful Blood Witch. Going down to a bite down. This would be a great time to have stab open, but unfortunately do not. That makes the 9 Lives Familiar combo a little bit worse. But again, they don't have removal for Krenko currently. Ah, that's brutal. The stab is just really getting in my way here. Krenko needs to go. Or I mean, the lack of having stab up is getting in my way. Alright, that's Shivan Dragon mana. So let's slam a Shivan Dragon. And no attacks. Now they have 2 pretty pressing threats to deal with here. The Shivan Dragon can attack over the Dwynen, and the Krenko will win the game in about 3 turns here. Okay, so they're going to have to chump with Dwynen, right? So they chump here, doesn't have trample, and then they block here. They take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Is that right? Assuming they have no... Yeah, so they block here, they chump there, they block here. They take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That should be lethal, assuming there's no priority here, which there isn't. So, unless there's something like that hits me on attacks, but if they just block here, I can stab it as well. So we go ahead and get in, and I think that's lethal. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? Okay. That is, in fact, lethal. What a deck. What a deck. This just continues to perform to absolute perfection, and I have no notes. I will continue to run it back until I lose, because we are now 6 straight match wins with this version of Black-Red. You love to see it. Well, after that win, we move up the standings yet again. We move up to 26th place with where we currently stand, with a record of 8-3. What a roll we're on. I will continue to say it. We're not even halfway done with this league yet, so there is a lot of matches to play. But I cannot complain with where I've been so far. 8-3, and 2 of those losses were with like this junky Jund deck that could not cast its spells in the first 2 matches of the league. But we are on an absolute tear here so far, and you know what? As the league goes on, all we can do is hope we can continue it. Our opponent match win percentage tiebreaker is holding us back just a little bit, sitting down here at 46.81%. But like I mentioned, most of these matches are randomly assigned through a bot in Discord, so I don't really have much control over that. All I can do is play the best I can in my individual match and hope I can get the win. So this is where we currently stand after match 11. And that's it for today. Thanks for tuning in today, and I'll see you tomorrow for the next Gauntlet League match.